Okay, hi everybody. My analysis research question looks for the ways in which YouTube users react to the finale of a famous TV show. This topic can easily fall within two issues seen during the course. The first being nostalgia. A video on YouTube can be seen as a time machine, a mean to go back and live again certain moments. Then, as we've said, the internet, and especially the comment section under a YouTube video, is a virtual space with shared rules and interests. As regards the methodology of my work, I scraped data from YouTube with Netlytic, selected and tagged comments in Excel, and finally visualized the results of my analysis. The research relies on two levels of content analysis with a text analysis contribution at the beginning. So let's explore the dataset first. To best analyze my research question, I chose the final scene of The Office, not the original, but the better one. So after the Netlytic process, I had 2,500 YouTube comments at my disposal, and I decided to select them, creating this engagement category, representing the sum of likes and replies of each comment. The threshold I adopted to eventually keep a comment was at least 100 in this new category. This process resulted in 82 comments items to be then analyzed. Here we can see a simple text analysis, a word cloud of my 82 survivors with words that at least were repeated 5 times. And as we can see, there are words such as show, my cold, crying, friends that eventually became pivotal to the analysis because also from this, other than reading all the comments various times obviously, I decided the categories adopted for my first layer of content analysis. So coming to the first level of my content analysis, I observed the main narratives embedded in my sample. 3 categories were initially created, the first one being comparative comments, representing the smallest section of my cake as you can see, and I included all sentences that were referred to the other shows or version of The Office. Then we have the emotional category, 35% of my cake, with comments that recalled feelings and attachment to the show. Then the show reference one, 28% of my comment sample, with sentences strictly referring to the show considered. Eventually, I didn't want my category to be too rigid, but exhaustive and exclusive, so I created another category, the nostalgia one, that represented 31% of my comments, involving crying and feeling sad for the end of the show. Then I introduced a second layer of content analysis regarding how people portrayed, in terms of writing, comments tagged at the categories previously described. This resulted in 3 subcategories. The first one being simply stating, just saying something, as you can see in the example. Then I had quoting characters, so I put in this category all the comments that were written in inverted commas, stating words from the characters themselves. Then the imitating action category, and I call like this all the comments that were written between asterisks, such as sniffle in this example. As we can see by this graph, while the comparative comments section was 100% composed of simple statements, when I moved towards more emotional or show-related comments, the percentage of characters quoting increased. Curiously, as you can see in the bottom left section of this graph, the imitating action comments were only present in the nostalgia category, and regarded, in fact, the crime potentially performed by users while watching the final scene of The Office. So, as a final interpretation and conclusion of my research question and of my analysis, combining the 2 levels of content analysis, I can say that there was a high presence of emotional comments with a strong component of direct quoting of characters. Then, users felt the need to compare The Office with other shows or versions. And when they did it just stating a personal opinion. Finally, the comment section resulted in a cultural space, a virtual space embedded in a common interest and rules, as I was saying in the beginning, in terms of show-related knowledge. What does it mean? It means that to know certain comments and to know the meaning of certain comments, you had to know the show. As regards the limitations of my research, I had a little quantity of comments available, maybe due to the too rigid threshold of 100 between likes and replies. Therefore, further research is needed to have the evidence of a realistic pattern towards the end of a famous TV show. That's the end. Thank you for listening, and thank you also for the course.